So while I was picking up my fail plate from Crytek for the Maxim 9, perusing Landwarrior's website, I found another revolver. So this is based on the Umarex Smith & Wesson M29 or 629 series. But this one was a special edition. Now, the TV show that this is from was just a gnat's hair before my time. So in the 80s, there was a sort of satirical comedy, TV series called Sledgehammer.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Which was a bit of a comedy version of like Dirty Harry, I think, from speaking to people that used to watch it who are older than I am, that's the way that they described it. So this is like a special edition of the Smith & Wesson 629 by Umarex, but done in the theme of the revolver that the main character uses from that TV show. And his famous catchphrase is, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing."
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
And I just thought, oh, bloody hell, it's another revolver. It wasn't massively expensive. It was £159, which I thought wasn't too bad. This is going to be a gargantuan revolver. But I was more so interested in... I wanted to pick up the Umarex Smith & Wesson series because I wanted to see what the differences were, because I'm presuming this is made by Wingun, but it's going to be a little bit different. The Chiappa, and as far as I'm aware, I think the Chiappa and the Dan Wesson are based off like 357, where this is like a 44 Magnum. So let's open the box and see what we have inside. So these are meant to do quite high power, and we're going to get into the reason why that is, or why I think that is, later in the video. So what is it? It's a CO2 revolver from Umarex. I think Umarex kind of mess up with their revolvers because they should follow suit with what Chiappa. I keep saying Chiappa, but it's not Chiappa, it's Chiappa. I know it's Chiappa, but it's just one of those bad habits. So it was crying at 420 FPS on a .2. So, but I'm interested to see the differences. Now, this is a gargantuan revolver. So we have the revolver in the box. We have an Allen key to adjust the hop, because it does have adjustable hop, which is good. And we have a couple of manuals in there, which I ain't going to go into. It's very simplistic and what you'd expect. Not a bad looking box at all, to be honest with you. It would be nice to pick up the other models in the series, but I think these run on the same shell as what the Umarex lever action rifle, the Cowboy something was it called? I think they use the same shells as them, where you put the BB in the back, and I think that's why these come out so hot, is because you put the BB in from the back, the through hole through the shell is 6mm. The BB has to go through the entirety of the shell. Potentially what you get in there is you could fill them up with more than one BB, but I imagine if you fill it with more than one BB, they'll just fall out the end, because there's like a little rubber, like a hard rubber seal there. So this would be an interesting project to design some shells for and get the power down, but we're going to find out what it's doing. So very much like other revolvers, you've got the safety found on the left side. You can pop the safety on, it blocks the trigger, blocks the hammer. I take the safety off, it puts it in fire. You've obviously got single action, which is a very light trigger pull. Not perfect, but not bad at all. And then you've got double action, if you want to rapid fire it. One thing that's very noticeable straight away is this grip, I think, is bigger than what normally comes on the Smith & Wesson 629 and M29 from Umarex and Wingun. The grip is huge. Like, I've got quite big hands, but I'm struggling because it flares out the bottom, because your three fingers are getting wider and wider apart. It feels really weird.
Punch yourself in the mouth. What? You heard me. Punch yourself in the mouth right now. It's an order. Oh, come on. Harder than that. Otherwise, I'm going to do it. I'm telling you. All right, that was nice.
And it's very slick. Now, it does have the same Sledgehammer logo as what the main character's revolver does in the series. I think it was a very short run series. I think there was only 2 seasons before it got cancelled. It was very, if you look at it now, it's very controversial. It's but that's what the humour was like back then.
Listen, lady, I'm a man. I can do anything you can do, except conceive.
So I'll try and put some bits from the TV show in the video. Hopefully I won't get copyright striked, but 6 shells. Very much a slightly different design compared to the Chiappa and the Dan Wessons. Same sort of idea though, where we can take this out. It has the tool built into the grip, obviously being Wingun, and we can use that to install or uninstall the CO2. I'm imagining this thing to be very loud. So headphone users, here is your advanced warning, just to maybe turn the volume down until you can, because I'm not sure how this is going to come through on the camera. I think my phone does dull the sound down a little bit. So we can put a capsule in, like so, clips into the top like the Dan Wesson, and then we just close it together. That's as simple as that. So we'll put one thing I did notice from this revolver compared to the Dan Wesson and the Chiappa Rhino is the cylinder. I'm not sure if it's like it on the real ones, but the cylinder does turn the opposite way. So it turns counterclockwise, where on the Chiappa and the Dan Wesson it turns clockwise. So if you were, I don't know, if you were playing Russian roulette or whatever you're doing, and you were firing it on the Chiappa and the Dan Wesson, that is the shell that's going to be fired. Because, no, the one on the other, yeah, on the Dan Wesson it's this, and the Chiappa it's this side. On the Smith & Wesson it's on that side, so as you see, as we cock it, it spins it the other way. We can decock it manually like those other revolvers. Let's have a sound test, we'll see how loud this thing is. Yeah, bloody loud. That thing absolutely zings. So let's get a couple of BBs in these shells, and we'll chrono it on a 0.3. Let's see what the joule output is now. Just say max energy on the side of 2 joules. So depending on your side, I mean, they just flimsily go in the back. They're not really held in there very well at all. Would be interesting if I can design a shell, 3D print one, what the difference would be in the seal of the back of the shells. I think that would be a key design importance of getting the seal good enough so you don't lose so much power. Right, I'm babbling here. I'm going to try and get this video going because you know what I'm like. Again, if you're not into revolvers, sorry. It's just the trend of the videos that we're going on now. I've got some other bits and pieces coming up, so don't panic. So we've got the BBs in the back. Load these in one by one. You do not get a speed loader like with the Dan Wesson. But this will be great for collectors out there, especially if you're a fan of the TV show. I think the character obsesses over his revolver in that TV show. So, single action, let's try that first. The chrono is set to 0.3 gram BBs, which is what I'm using. And here we go.
Drop the gun this instant. I know you'd never shoot at a woman.
Sorry, Francine. Call me a feminist.
Yeah, it dual creeps just a little bit. So that's, they said 420 on a 2. It's doing 461 on a 3. So that's just shy of 3 joules. Oh, it's getting even more powerful. 3.3 joules. 2.5 joules. That was double action. 2.5 joules. 2.9 joules and 2.7 joules. So this thing is ridiculously loud. Easier to see that you haven't got the rounds in when you pop the cylinder open, so you can see. Like with the Chiappa and the Dan Wesson, if you forget and you open it, you would have to look the other way like that to see the rounds, where this you could see it safely from the back. So yeah, holy crap. In the interest of science, let's go one heavier. Let's go heavier. Let's go, got some .43s here. And let's see what we can get out of this thing. So yeah, we are running sniper limits.
That man makes Rambo look like Pee Wee Herman.
So if you're wanting to use it out the box, I imagine a lot of airsoft sites would go absolutely not. It is hot, hot, hot. But I'm hoping we can fix that. Because it would be nice to perhaps, I don't know, in future run it in a game and just see if we can hit anyone with it. So these are 0.43 gram BBs. We've got 6 shells, 6 BBs. Let's make sure those BBs are seated. Let's put the safety on. Let's go on to our chrono. We can select 0.43s. Let's turn it off. Turn it back on again. So we're set to 0.43 gram BBs. Let's see if this thing dual creeps any more than it already does. And here we go. Single action. So 2.8 joules. 2.7 joules. 2.5 joules. Double action now. 2.5 joules. Sorry, you can't see that there. 2.6 joules. 2.7 joules. So yeah, a lot more powerful than what they're saying. And I'm going to test their test now. So are they telling the truth on their chrono report? Let's see, because I think they might be telling porkies. So I do have some 0.2s here. I mean, these are really light, so they could be telling the truth. Why they would fake the chrono result, I don't know. Perhaps because, does it become an air gun after a certain power? I imagine it does. So 6.2 gram BBs. We've got the chrono set up to 0.2s. Let's put these shells in. Here we go. Single action first. 2.5 joules. 2.3 joules. 2.4 joules. 2.3 joules. 2.2 joules. 2.3 joules. So yeah, someone's been a bit naughty with that. There's no way that was doing 420 FPS. It's doing pretty much 500 and thereabouts. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. So yeah, what do you think of this? It's to be honest, I bought it because I wanted to see. It's one of the things where I wanted to see the difference of the different revolvers supplied by Wingun. Umarex buying, or Umarex saying, right, we want to release this product, Wingun make it for us. I think Umarex have gone about it the complete wrong way. Nothing new there really, is there? But I think as a manufacturer, or an airsoft manufacturer, or, you know, obviously they don't manufacture it, but the OEM is Wingun, but it's, you know, brought to us by Umarex. I think Umarex as a brand, I don't know, just to me, over the years, and I've had my run-ins with Umarex dealers, Armex, over the years, because sometimes I feel like they just don't get airsoft. They don't fully understand it. Like, there's got to be at some point they've sat in a boardroom and gone, right, we're going to do an airsoft revolver. Let's make it 2 joules.
That was excessively violent and completely unnecessary. I loved it.
Yeah, that is never going to be a thing that's okay. If they knew what they were doing with airsoft, they'd go, right, most important thing, because let's face it, and this comes to my point, they could sit at the board and they could go, right, most important thing, this gun has to do 1 joule, or 1.5 on a high power and low power different shells. So if they'd done that, they could have probably sold this in more countries, because the power, you go to Ireland, for instance, I don't think they can have this. It has to be under a joule or just under. Various countries have different limits. Some are more strict than ours. Some are more lenient, obviously America and places like that, and a lot of places in Europe. So I think them understanding their customers and releasing something like this, I don't think they quite get it. I do like the fact that they've done a Sledgehammer version. I'd heard of the TV show before, but I never really delved into it. Never watched it. And then when I saw this on Landwehr's website, I just Googled it and I started watching episodes. It's actually pretty funny. Very old humour. So, yeah, in terms of me, I just wanted to know the difference of the shells, because I think if I'm going to get one of those Umarex Colt Peacemakers, the SAA 45s, I imagine they run on the same shells as this. So I wanted to do a bit of research. I wanted to see if it's something that can be rectified with the shell, which I think it might be, by limiting the flow of gas that goes through. And on the flip side of that, it's just another weird, funky piece in my collection. I was speaking to, obviously I have a day job as well, guys, but I was speaking to one of the guys who I work with on a daily basis, and I said, "Oh, Steve, did you ever watch Sledgehammer, the 80s TV show?" And yeah, he watched it, and when I told him I got the revolver that the main character has from that, he thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, there it is. I would like to see more revolvers. If there's people out there that can help me get my hands on certain things, like the Peacemaker, I want to have a look at that. It would be nice to look at the normal Smith & Wesson models that Umarex do, the ones with the they've got a finger groove grip on the, I think it's a 629 or M29, I can't quite remember. I think it'd be interesting. So sorry if you're not into the revolver stuff, but I think a bit of variance on the channel is always a good thing. So stay tuned for more videos coming up. I know I've been sort of, I go for a period of not posting, and all of a sudden I post like sometimes even twice a day. So sorry about that. Thanks very much for watching. And guys, just remember, trust me, I know what I'm doing. From me and Bench, we'll see you in the next one.